What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be answering your guys' questions. And today we're just going to hop right in and start. So the first question is from Hassan Rasa. And his question is, what's your favorite Civic? It's kind of tough because I do love the FD2, obviously, you guys know that. But the EK9 holds a special place in my heart only because that is the very first Type R. That's the very first car that I saw and was like, okay, like that's a car that I would see myself driving, and that's a car that looks fun to drive. If you were to ask me right now, like what my favorite Civic is currently, it would be the FD2. But like I said, the EK9 has a special place in my heart. Good question, Hassan, good question. All right. The next question is from JFA5. If you had to choose any color to paint your Civic other than white, what would it be? That's actually a really good question. So most of you guys don't know, I did have an FG4, the 9th gen Civic Si Coupe, and that was in Rally Red. Before I got the car, I wasn't big into red. In fact, that was the only car left. It was in the showroom, had like 7 miles. So I was like, you know what, let me just get it. And I fell in love with it. Red started to grow on me, and I just love the way it looks, especially with like certain color wheels or like carbon fiber. If the car wouldn't be white, I think it would be red. So because I had a white one, my direction was just OEM Type R look. But if I did have a red one, I would have went the RR Mugen conversion. So next question comes from JBoost FA5, and his question is side skirt extensions. So I'm not sure if you're asking about like the little piece that sits under the side skirts. And if you're asking if I'm gonna run those, I probably will not run those. My side skirts right now are currently aftermarket. Yeah, I don't plan on running those because I don't know, like I like a more cleaner look. And even though like it does look nice on some cars, I kind of just want to keep mine kind of just simple and nice from like the side profile. All right. Martin Conway asks, if you had the opportunity to trade your FA5 for the FL5, would you do it? So this is a tough question only because I love the FA5, but the amount of work that I put into it and the amount of time that I put into it and just the effort and just the waiting, I think that kind of outweighs just trading it in to get like a brand new car. Granted, I want the FL5. I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. I have gotten offers before in the past from some people, and I turned down some high amounts. So, I mean, that just goes to show you that I'm not really like looking for the next best thing. I'm kind of stuck in that early 2000s because that's the model that I fell in love with. And it's kind of hard for me to let go of that. All right, Antonio Cardona, when's the AZ 8-Gen meet? Okay, so this is something that I've been wanting to plan for the past year now, and I do want to set up like an 8-Gen meet or just a car meet just to see who would show up. If there's 8-Gens, great, you know, a whole bunch of 8-Gens, that would be amazing. But you know, if other builds show up too, other builds are more than welcome. I don't know, I have to plan it. I kind of have to want to scout like a location. I would obviously have to talk to maybe some vendors. Stay tuned for that. I definitely want to set something up, but you'll definitely hear updates about that meet. And if there is an AZ specific one for now, you guys will definitely be hearing from me. Just stay posted. I might post something up, maybe like a pop-up meet or something. Mariano Perez, where did you get your windshield banner from? So the current banner that's on my car right now is from Art of Attack, and I ordered it on their website. And the thing about those banners is they're like, it's so hard to get. Like you have to kind of sign up for the newsletter and kind of just keep checking because that matte black Art of Attack banner is for some reason like so hard to get. I actually have a Narita Dogfight one that's matte black that I actually want to throw on the car, and I'm just waiting for my windshield to crack. All right, next question is from Zaid Ayala. How long did it take you to get where you're at with the FD2 build? Yeah, so I mean, basically I started in February of 2020 is when I bought the Civic FA5. It had full bolt-ons, suspension, and some wheels. But other than that, everything was pretty much stock for the most part. I've had it now for a little over 3.5 years. This is the car that I've done the most modifications on, only because, you know, the FD2 is like one of my favorite Civics. So for me to have this type of chassis to work with was kind of like, I want to say like 11 years in the making, because when I first saw the car in like old school, like Japanese videos, I remember like, okay, like when is this coming out in the States? It never did. So like that made me even want it a lot more, you know, because it's proven, you know, you want what you can't have. And so when that generation skipped our country, like the SIs came out, like the FA5s and the FGs, yeah, it's like right now, like 3.5 years, a lot of that is just patience and waiting, having the money at the right time. Because when I sold my FG4, I had some extra cash. Plan was always to get an FA5 and convert it and do the conversion to do the FD2 conversion. So, you know, that was a no-brainer. If you're gonna do this build, guys, like have patience. Don't expect for instant gratification. You know, when you plant the seed, don't expect to get fruit in the morning. You know, this takes time. You have to be in it for the long run. You have to dedicate a certain amount of time and effort into this. It's a process, but yeah, 3.5 years, man. I'm sorry if I'm gonna butcher this name, but it's Anantama. Yeah, Anantama. And he says, shout out from Indonesia. Yo, Indonesia, you guys have like the best car scene out there, I swear. Like you guys in Malaysia, I don't know what it is, but like I follow some Malaysian and Indonesian sites online, and it seems like you guys have like the FDs out there heavy. So big respect to you guys from Indonesia. Shout out to Indonesia, man. Next question is from Brian Flores 8945. Are you going to update the side mirrors for FD1, FD2 hybrid option? The ones with the blinkers. Those mirrors, I believe they're like the power folding mirrors, and they have like the blinker indicator on the back. I want to say maybe like a year ago I wanted them, but the more I think about it, the more I'm gonna have to wire them, and kind of just like the regular streamlined stock mirrors, and that's easily fixable and, you know, just simple. It's not really something that's high on my priority list. I have a set list of what I want to do for modifications, and if it's not on the list, then I'm probably not even gonna look in that direction. All right, Slow KA asks, do you eventually plan to go FI, forced induction? And it says, if so, supercharger or turbo? Yeah, no boost. I'm more for the all-motor build. I want to take the motor out of the Civic eventually and build it, maybe get a K24, do the Frank, possibly do a K24 build. I don't know yet, but the plan is to drop the motor and to build it how I want it and clean up the engine bay and everything like that. So as of right now, yeah, boost is not in the picture. And especially here in the desert, guys, like right now, today, it's projected to be 117 degrees. So boost in this kind of weather is not practical. I want something that's gonna last a long time, something that I can enjoy, and then also something that my son can enjoy in the future, should I decide to give him the car or whatever, you know. All right, so F85 Blee, can you give a hint of what's next for the build? Yeah, man, so there's a couple things that I have that are coming up real soon. One of them is the push to start button. So had the push to start button for a while. One of the subscribers, one of you guys, I can't remember your name, I'm sorry, but you're always a loyal watcher and you always follow my channel, you always watch my videos and comment. He sent me the button, and so now I finally have the startup kit that I got just like maybe a couple days ago. So that's gonna be the next video after this. So Soul438 asks, new paint wrap in the future? If so, what color? The car currently right now is taffeta white or taffeta white, whatever you want to call it. I had thoughts of doing championship white before I started this build, but now that I see taffeta white, the more it grew on me and the more I actually want to keep that color. So I think if I'm to ever respray the car, it's going to be taffeta white, just for the simple fact that it's a whiter white, but it's not like a complete white. It's kind of in between like pure white and championship white. To go championship white is going to be real expensive if I want to do the bay and the door jams and everything else. So we're just going to keep it to taffeta white for now. Your boy Ikumagawa 7576, best bet to find trunks for FD2 conversion. Okay, so this was probably one of the first items that I got for my conversion when I started way back in like 2020, 2021. If you guys are in the States and you guys can't find like FD2 stuff from Japan, you guys can go to Canada and basically search up there. Luckily, I have a couple friends in Canada who actually helped me. Shout out to Calvin. Over there in Canada, they have FDs as well, but they're not FD2s, they're FD5s. It's essentially the same chassis. They have like the same trunk style. The only difference is there's no pre-drilled holes for the FD2 wing. And then the license plate bolts that are for the license, you don't need a bracket. So that's like North American. So people in the States can bolt on license plates as is, you know, versus the Japanese ones, you have to wait forever for those. And then when they come in, you gotta use a bracket and it's just a whole ordeal. But what's nice about those is they come pre-drilled, so you don't have to worry about drilling, which is, you kind of have to weigh your option. But yeah, if you're asking for FD2, I would say Amayama is a really good company. Mangoon is really good. I would say Art of Attack, but I kind of still have reservations about using them for car parts again. If you want a cheaper alternative, like an FD5 trunk like mine, there's a website called Kijiji, and I'll go ahead and put it on the screen so you guys can spell it. It's kind of like a OfferUp for Canada. And if you type in like Type S FD5 trunk or CSX Type S trunk or CSX parts, it will all pop up. And then, you know, I'm sure like some people in Canada are willing to ship it. I believe I paid like 500 USD shipped for mine, because that was kind of around the same price as what Art of Attack was asking at the time. And so for the last question, I kind of answered part of this question, but Zachary Walker, he asked, how long did it take you to get your car to the point where it is now? And what are some of your favorite upgrades? So I already answered the first part of the question. It's 3.5 years. What are some of your favorite upgrades? And I have a lot of upgrades that I did on this car that I really love, and definitely would like to say that obviously the FD2 conversion is number one, because it just changes up the look. The shift knob that I got from Battlecraft, they make a really good shift knob, like the teardrop. Another thing is my Import Bible melody box, and that's just something that when you turn on the car, you hear like the Japanese person talking. It's just little things like that, you know, like the Broadway mirror, my steering wheel, just stuff that you can appreciate, especially on the inside. My Phase 2 motor trims, checkered floor mats. Alright guys, so that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little Q&A video, something a little bit different. If you guys want to ask me any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Or you guys can hit me up on Instagram, ask me questions about the build. Always trying to help people out with this FD2 conversion, because there's not really a lot of stuff out there on this conversion. So if I can use my platform to help you guys with your builds, I'm definitely all about it. And also, if you guys want to take a second to like the video, it does help my videos out tremendously. And it also puts them out into the algorithm, so that way people can also watch the videos. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.